Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of Out of the Crossfire. This week is VR O'Clock. I'm your host, Adam, and I am joined by only the one owner of a PSVR. It's Alex Waite.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and you're from the Out of Heroes podcast,
I am from Out of Heroes. A special guest appearance this week.
Because you have a VR and the other numpties couldn't be here. They were on just a little bit earlier to say hello and have caused havoc, and now they're away. So we give them abuse on the podcast because they can't do anything about it now. And we're also joined by Lauren.
Hi, it's me again.
Yeah, back again.
Back again, but with still no VR. Yeah. Sadly.
Oh, this is going to be a good conversation for you.
I'll join in with what I know, such as you both had to wait until Amazon got your packages from Guruk, which is where I'm from. So really, for a brief moment, I owned both of them before I released them to your possession.
For a brief moment, we were worried that they'd been intercepted in some kind of like gangland style hit.
I would be surprised down that way. It's a bit barren.
For all we know, Alex's might have been late because it's changed hands several times as Amazon had to fight to get it back.
Yeah, the driver was looking a bit worse for wear. I think he's pretty scrappy though. It was all right.
Yeah, well, according to my emails, he'd been on the go since 9 o'clock the night before. That's when apparently they got given my package.
Going full daredevil on anyone who attacks him.
Yeah. Anyway, we start with just a wee note. Aadil was wrong about the London heist. He mentioned that it was weird that when you had to reload, the old magazine just kind of disappeared. Well, it turns out you can drop the magazine out of it if you press the button. Which, you know, that does help if you press the button and things happen. So they didn't overlook that. They just made it easier for people who didn't think to do that. Where, yeah, it does disappear if you just slam a new magazine in it, then that's fine. But you can drop it out as well. So they didn't overlook that. Me and Aadil just hadn't tried it.
Take that, Aadil, and your absence.
Yeah. I was going to let him defend himself, but then he didn't turn up. So, nope. Aadil, you're an idiot. But no, so PlayStation VR has finally been out. It's nearly a week. Yeah.
Yes.
And how many have ended up back in the game or in CEX as trade-ins? Have we seen the numbers for that?
I haven't heard that many, but I've been sort of out of the game for the last week. As soon as mine was delivered, I was back at work again. So I've been grabbing playtime, so I've not really been looking at the news for it. Anyone got a clue on that? How much has gone back?
Not as far as I know. I just think
I've seen a few idiots on Twitter. I say idiots, sorry. Contributors on Twitter saying they'd taken it back. But it's your usual kind of trolls, and then the ones in the groups on Facebook and stuff like that. But I think generally it's been far more well received and said No Man's Sky. So that's a bonus.
Yeah, it's definitely been
it doesn't take a lot
received.
Does it?
Well, thankfully for PSVR, it can't get horrible Steam reviews. So it's already on to a winner there compared to No Man's Sky.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the Amazon delivery was fun. Like, actually getting it on launch day. Alex, you had a bit of a problem with yours, or half of it turned up.
So yeah, I was sat there for most of the day with my headset, sat in the box in front of me, still waiting for my camera to be delivered. So that was obviously great fun. Royal Mail managed to get my headset perfectly fine to me, nice and early, just before lunch. Yeah, and then my camera shows up just before tea time, so didn't enjoy that. It wasn't my favourite part of the day, but pretty soon after I got into the games and it was all was forgiven pretty quickly.
I mean, it was a productive time because the site got a funny picture of you wearing the box.
I did choke a little bit laughing at that. It was pretty brilliant.
I mean, it's a comfy box. It's really comfy. It's got the fancy lid and all the weird slidey bits. It's quite cool. I like it.
I hope you donated it then to a cat sanctuary so they too can enjoy a slidey, comfortable box.
That's mine, that is. That's just going to keep me occupied.
It's going to sit in it while you play your VR.
If there's ever a power cut, the box will come out.
Straight away.
Virtual reality box.
I was fortunate in that all of mine turned up at once around lunchtime, so I had to. Well, I didn't have to, but I rushed back home to get it, forgetting that I'd set a safe place where they could put it, thinking that it might have just been left on the doorstep. Going, oh no! So I rushed home to discover it in the shed. So that was good.
That's all good. That's all good. The shed's good. It's a good start. Anyway.
Yeah, the shed was fine.
I once found a next package in my recycling bin, but they didn't say it was in my recycling bin. I just so happened to be taking stuff out. I was like, oh, that's got my name on it. And
I had
it.
that with an Xbox 360, and they didn't tell me about it. And it was bin emptying day, and I wasn't in it. And it really didn't go well, yeah. So that disappeared pretty quickly. And,
wow.
The best part about it was the delivery driver had signed for it in my name, which was all good fun. Yeah,
oh dear.
we had conversations. Amazon and I did about that one.
That's okay. Enough of the horror stories of delivery. That's for another podcast, I think. But Alex, how did you find setting up the VR once you had all of it?
Walk in a park, really, really easy. I'd say the most difficult part is finding a good spot to put the camera, and keeping it at the right level.
Yeah.
And then figuring out where to play. So I usually play on the sofa, which is a fair distance away from the TV. I've had to switch that round for VR, and I've got a gaming chair which I can pull closer to the TV, which is where I'm playing VR now.
Is that the rocking chair?
It is the rocking chair, the dangerous rocking chair, which you'll hear about later on. It scared the life out of me as well when I was playing Batman, but that's another point. Yeah, so once you've sorted that out, because the stock stand which comes with the camera isn't great, and I've got it sitting on top of my Kinect, which is sitting on top of the TV, which is all very precariously balanced at the best of times, and it's like a jungle behind where all my consoles and Skybox and things are, and it's not boxed in, so it looks an absolute disgrace at the moment. But apart from that, it was an absolute walk in the park. You just follow the instructions and you connect number 1 to number 1 and 2 to 2, and you follow the little blue stickers on the external box, and you're sorted. Easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not difficult. It's just a wee bit more of a faff than normal, just because there's that extra few cables with the breakout box. And it just looks a mess. That's the major thing, is it's very messy looking with the amount of cables attached to the stupid
Do you not
box.
have that sexy mannequin you can balance it on?
Mannequin?
Yeah, it's like in the box, whatever it is. It's it's basically like a mannequin's head, and you just kind of balance it there.
You're talking about the headset?
No, the only thing I've seen is the one that PlayStation are releasing. I was looking at it today. I think it's release date in December, and it's got a headset stand, and it plugs in. You've got a charging point for 2 Move controllers and a DS4. So I'm probably going to get that. It's a bit of a tidier way of keeping it.
Yeah, that sounds like a brilliant idea.
But then I've got my second DS4 controller, so what am I going to do with that? So I like things to have their place and sit very neat, which, I mean, if you looked at the underside of my TV at the moment, you wouldn't believe that at all. I've got my PS3 lying on the floor. I've got stuff everywhere. My poor Lego Dimensions portal is being tattered by cables ripping off it every day when I pull the headset out. But it's messy, but it needs it as well, and I think it's worked. It's done as best as it can do. Yeah, I think with what it needs.
It's definitely something to look forward to with next generation stuff, it being maybe a bit neater. Maybe not needing the breakout box.
Yeah.
In future, they'll maybe build that into their next console so that you don't need the separate box. You never know.
That'd be useful. Very useful.
But it definitely, the plus side, despite it being a bit of a mess, it works, and it works well.
Very well.
I haven't had any problems moving about with the headset on or anything like that.
The only thing I've found is it's not the remote on the headset cable, but the connector box further down. It's quite
the
heavy,
second box. Yeah.
And it does tend to pull when you sat down, then when you're standing up, it tends to pull off to the one side, and you can't get the cable into the right place. But I just tend to shove it into my pocket, and that works quite well while I'm sat down. Yeah. Apart from that, the hardware is all spot on. I've had no issues with it at all. Which is, I hadn't tried any VR headset before this got delivered last week.
Oh, you're a risk taker.
Oh, a bold move, Cotton.
I put in the pre-order after quite a few drinks. Sat outside a bar in
A
Lanzarote.
likely tale.
Oh, I was so drunk. I watched the announcement outside a bar, and then I was sat next to a swimming pool in Lanzarote, still drinking. Put in the pre-order, and then just couldn't bring myself to cancel it when I didn't get a chance to try it out. So I thought, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? So I just went for it.
Could have been terrible.
Could have been horrendous, but I was confident that Sony weren't going to mess it up.
Yeah,
and they've done a good job. Done a very good job.
They were saying all the right things about it. So in the run up, and then I was lucky enough I got to try it at EGX quite a bit actually. I played a couple of different games and I played them multiple times. Well, so that was good going. So it's been working really well, and by all accounts, I haven't heard any problems with pretty much any game, with the exception of no prizes for guessing Drive Club, which I've heard quite a few people.
No issues with Drive Club.
I've had seen a lot of people saying that it's made them terribly motion sick.
Like completely. Oh, sorry, I think that went quiet in my end. I interrupted you. I'm very sorry.
That's all right. You're not as bad as Aadil. We've made it through 10 minutes without that happening.
Sorry.
But carry on. What were you going to say?
All right. Again, I haven't looked to see if any get traded in. I haven't actually seen any major problems, like anybody plugging it in and it's not working first time, or games aren't loading. It's been more how people are interacting with it, or motion sickness, or people saying they've started having very lucid dreams all of a sudden because their mind has been so switched on. But there's been nothing like when, if a new phone or when a new update comes out, some people absolutely lose their minds. It's been pretty reliable. There's been no exploding things like the Note 7. No, not yet. Anyway,
I am impressed with the rollout. I think they've kept it very simple. The way they do it. They've not tried to work some massive upgrade onto the PS4 to accommodate it. It's all sort of dealt with through separate apps, and the headset itself brings, I think, some sort of update into the PS4, so it's not bricking things and it's not causing problems. The motion sickness wise, I've only experienced it once, and it wasn't on Drive Club. It was on the VR Luge on PSVR Worlds. That took me about 20 minutes. It took me about 20 minutes to recenter myself, but that was because of the rocking chair. I'd got my feet on the floor, my head, because you control it just by tilting your head from side to side. So your character's lying on their back on this little cart going through the streets. You tilt your head right, the cart moves to the right. You've got traffic going both directions either side of you. My feet are flat on the floor. I tilt my head right, my feet go left, my body swings right, and the character's swinging around as well. That was enough to send me. I lost it. I ripped that headset off at the end of that run and just sort of sat on the sofa. This was just before I had to get an early night for a morning shift, so we can only imagine how well that went as well. Sort of sat head spinning. Any second, I'm gonna chuck. But Drive Club, no issues whatsoever. And that was also in the same seat. But I think that one came more because the seat's got vibration, things like that in it as well, connected to just the base run. I think that would have assisted me in the feeling, feeling like I was in a car, even though, because while you're sat in a car, you're not moving.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect to be moving. But I think if you're sat in a different position, so you're sat upright or stood up, while you're driving in Drive Club, you're going to struggle with it. So the closer you can get it to what it is in real life, the better. And most people haven't got the experience of lying on their back on a luge or going down through the water column in some weird basket. But people have got the experience of driving, so your mind knows what it's expecting. Yeah. And because it's so realistic, it can really trip you out, I can imagine.
Yeah, I do wonder. I haven't actually tried Drive Club myself. I know at EGX, my girlfriend, that was the demo that she got, was Drive Club, and she found that quite motion sick inducing at the time. So I'm not completely surprised that a lot of people have been saying that, but I don't know how much of that is the game not running well or people not working out the right way to be playing it, as you said, like maybe sitting in the wrong kind of position or whatever. You know, it doesn't compute properly with what they're used to doing when they're in an actual car, and that's why their brain's going, what?
Yeah, I feel if you're lying down playing the game, or if you're sat on a beanbag, it's going to be very different to if you're sat on your sofa or a dining chair, or even stood up in front of it. There's all these different positions you'll be sat in, and if you usually sit back like a low rider in your car, or you're sitting right up like driving Miss Daisy, all these differences are going to really affect the way the game works for you. So that's the motion sickness can certainly be combated. I think Drive Club, it can. I mean, the potential's right there. The sort of manoeuvres you're executing in that game are intense, and the potential's right there to cause motion sickness. But it's by no means the worst one that I've seen. I was running through the Playroom VR earlier on, and there's a single player thing where you are a camera hovering over over the head of a little robot, and you're controlling the robot, and it is horrendous. I felt quite tripped out. Just every time I pushed forward on the stick, I felt a lurch in my stomach as though I should be moving, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was really strange. And every time I stopped moving, to when I restarted again, I got this same lurch. As long as I kept the stick forward, I was absolutely fine. I just got that first lurch, but it was. I'll see if you get the same. There's 2 single players on Playroom, and it's one of them.
Yeah,
And
I've played
really
a few of the. I've played a few of the multiplayer ones for Playroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the dinosaur one, you're being chased and all that, or if you're the dinosaur, you're trying to, you know, hit your head off of buildings and that to wreck the place. And then you're trying to dodge stuff at the end and all that. You know, those are quite fun, although a bit on the simple side because they are more party style. Here's just a fun wee thing.
Yeah, it's obviously just showing off what the headset can do.
And it's free, so you can't really complain.
Exactly.
You got a couple of nice wee mini games that you can have a, you know, kind of round robin, everyone gets a shot kind of thing on, and have a wee bit of fun, which is you can't really argue with. So, what was the first game you tried on it once you got it?
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Well,
I was probably the Luge. It was probably the Luge.
Yeah, it's maybe a bad one to start with.
Oh no! I tried Eve first. The Eve demo.
All right. How did you find that? I haven't.
Oh my god, that's a pretty game. And it is.
That's what I like to hear.
It is so. You get like a minute and a half of the game on the demo, and it is so good looking, so realistic. It's very. Because I've not played Eve at all. I had no idea, but spaceships fighting, that was always going to be cool. And
I haven't tried it.
You turn your head, and you're in a really gritty cockpit. It looks like something out of Battlestar Galactica, so it's not all polished and chrome like the Enterprise. You can see where there's bits of cables kicking around, and you're in this ship, and then you start shooting, and the controls are good. They're not. It doesn't. I mean, I can only really turn it to super geeky things. It doesn't control like an X-wing. It controls more like an A-wing, sort of thing. So it's not flinging you all over the place.
Yeah,
I think it's deliberate.
Yeah,
I think it's a very deliberate thing to try and prevent the sickness. Although there is part of me that would really want to be chucked around and made to feel ill.
Well, maybe they'll have that in the full one, I suppose, if it gets into more kind of serious combat. Because Eve was never a game I anticipated for the VR. I remember one of my friends' dads used to play it and watched it, and obviously it's like huge, big currency things, and some people have invested, you could really say their whole lives into every aspect of it. So put on to VR, it was a move I didn't expect, but I'm really excited to see where it goes, because did you not feel kind of on a scale of 1 to Picard, you know, at least a solid Riker?
I'm always a solid Riker. I'm feeling Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
it's a fighter jet simulation. That's what it is, and there's no. I think controlling something bigger would be rubbish on VR, but this was very much close quarters. You're in a small cockpit. just like you're sat on your seat, which is in a tiny little cockpit. So you're feeling, at least for me anyway, I was feeling like I was in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the controls of it were natural as well. I've got a little bit of a background with sort of flight and things like that, so I understood what was going on, and it did feel really natural to me.
So
the way it was moving.
So pitch and roll are in the right place.
Well, they're trigger buttons or shoulders, I can't remember, but I think what you obviously need a stick and pedals to do it properly, but it was it felt natural. It certainly felt right for the controller.
That's a good thing. Sounds good. The first game I tried, funnily enough, was Batman. I jumped straight into that, and I was nicely surprised actually. I played it at EGX. That was the demo I got, and the section of that you start with isn't the very beginning of it.
All right. Okay.
When I did it at EGX, you start in the manor, but there's actually a bit just before that actually works really well in VR. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to tell everyone. You know, because I found it a nice kind of surprise. Oh, I didn't know they were going to do that. So I don't want to actually say what it was, but it worked really well in VR, which was a good thing.
There are some things. I mean, that game is ranking in my top 3 gaming experiences of all time, easily, and it is making me so excited for the future of VR because they've managed to do in one game what their maybe 6 demos have done across the rest of the things on maybe Worlds and things like that. They've managed to show you so much that you can do with this headset and these 2 sticks. That it's
definitely
so good. It's so good.
Sony made an absolute blinder of a decision to ask them to make that for them.
Oh,
Absolutely.
The
thing is that the price of the whole thing as well, whilst I'm skint, because that's just life, it is, when you really look at it, an affordable piece of kit and everything that's came with it. Even though you'd need to buy the camera and all that, it brings a real specialness into your home that otherwise, maybe even 5 years ago, if we thought this was going to be anywhere near affordable, we would have probably laughed ourselves right out.
I think one thing which really adds to it is the games as well. So Batman's 15 quid, and I'll go back and I'll replay that happily.
Of course you will, because it's Batman. Like, who doesn't want to put on the Bat mask?
It's 15 quid. If they can keep their games and if they can keep control over the price in the games. I know there's some AAA title prices like Rigs, which is 40 quid or 50 quid.
45 thereabouts.
45.
Battlezone is 50, I'm sure. But
so there are those games, but for the most part, everything is dirt cheap.
Yeah, they're all hovering around the kind of 15, 20 mark.
It's well within impulse purchase territory.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't mind ordering a few of them off Amazon as a junk purchase rather than one-off game kind of thing.
They were. I was pleasantly surprised when the morning of I woke up and started setting everything to download on the PS4 in advance, and apparently PSN is really bad where I live because I was getting nothing. I had to wait a whole 24 hours before I could play Batman.
Oh, for God's sake!
Oh, that's poor.
It was so bad.
You've really got a massive postcode lottery when it comes to PSN.
Yeah, that's true.
Because mine's works pretty well, but I know a lot of people who do really suffer.
Mine goes between, like, sometimes it'll have all titles available, and then earlier on I was downloading the World of Final Fantasy demo. Couldn't find it on the PSN store on my PlayStation, but it was there on my phone. Why?
That's weird.
Why?
That is really strange. Yeah. I struggle anyway. I'm mostly an Xbox player. So the whole PlayStation ecosystem sort of confuses me sometimes. But this headset has dragged me into PlayStation as well. I've been playing games today that I haven't played for months on my PS4.
Oh, you're a casual. Get off this podcast. Go on, there's no place for you.
Sorry, he's a hardcore VR man. Whoa.
Hardcore VR man.
How's your headset working out, Lauren?
Fight me.
No, but on the cost thing, it's definitely, although it's expensive, yes, and it's the cheapest of the kind of big 3. Oculus and Vive and also PSVR, which is your big 3 above your phone ones. The phone ones are fine, they're kind of cool, but they're not on the same level as this stuff.
No, absolutely.
and although it is the cheapest, it doesn't suffer for it, which is, I think, is the major win for them. Like, the lower resolution, you really can't tell.
I mean, we have got human eyes at the end of the day, and how many of us are glasses wearers or, aren't children? Like, your eyesight's going to degrade anyway over time. So I think it's, from what I've read, obviously my face has not been in a VR, it is very good for people if you do have short-sightedness or long-sightedness or any kind of eye problem. It's getting as near to a clear picture as you can really get without sticking your face out the window. So,
I mean, you can still wear your glasses underneath it, which is a good design feature. But I just mean in general with the screen, the actual quality of the screen is really good. So as long as you put it on properly and get it sitting on in front of you so that it's in focus. Once you've done that, you're absolutely golden. The screen door effect is really minimal. As long as you can notice it at first, but once you're actually in playing something, the only time it's really noticeable is when you're looking at text, which a lot of the time you're not doing in a game anyway.
I play my games with subtitles on, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, well, fair enough. But most of the time, most people won't be doing that. But and even at that, it's not really noticeable unless you're really staring at it.
Sure.
If you know what I mean? Like in the menus or something like that, when you're looking for an option, you go, where is it? And maybe then you can see it, but it's not really that bad.
See, that's good to know, because I get really bad double vision at actually quite close range, like within about a foot of my face. So to know I won't be just running about square-eyed and cross-eyed at the same time, I mean, that's a bonus.
Really, you feel like, because they said the screens are set about 8 feet away. The way it feels, it's about 8 feet for when you're looking at just the standard virtual screen.
Right.
And that's about right. I don't know. They were right when they said they've been making lenses for a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
they've got these sussed. The only time I've noticed the quality dip is today when I tried playing a 1080p film just to test out the size of the massive screen, which is massive. It's so much fun. Watching Deadpool on that is pretty cool. But that's where you notice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I imagine the quality on that dips a bit because the screen is so massive that you're looking at.
Well, I thought I'd test out a couple of them and see how it works. I've been running mostly on the medium size. I do think they could do with another one between medium and large, because this one I had to move my head to see all corners of the screen. But
that's my biggest fear with big TVs or big screens.
The quality dipped, but I'm not going to sit and I'm not going to watch something spectacular on a VR headset. That's not what it's designed for. I'll be watching something. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be watching anything that's not appropriate for the little one to watch, like Deadpool. And he'll be watching whatever Pokemon or something on the TV, and I'll have Deadpool on sat on the chair next to him. And he won't be any the wiser. And that's what I'm going to watch it for. I'm not going to go in for some sort of visual spectacle. And realistically, it's not the most comfortable way to sit down for 2 hours and watch a film.
That sounds like the complete epitome of being together but forever alone. Like, my daddy gives me hugs, but he sits with a headset on all day and ignores me.
He gives me hugs, but he can't see me.
He gets to watch Pokemon on the big TV, so...
I mean, yeah.
Probably wouldn't even notice that. It'll be fine.
He can play Minecraft on the other input on the TV while I'm watching something on the PS4. So that's the only reason I could ever think of watching a film through that headset.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's just for gaming, and the games aren't designed to be beautiful, for want of a better term. They're never going to do that because they know they can't hit it with the screens they've got.
Yeah, it's not going to be top quality, blow your mind, brilliant, but everything looks really good on what they are. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things, as long as you're not aiming for, I want it to look as good as Uncharted 4, then you're pretty much set in terms of expectation. Yeah. Everything will look good.
But it's not going to be blood and wine good.
Definitely not.
Nothing is blood and wine good. Even the Witcher base game isn't blood and wine good.
That is certainly true.
But I love the Witcher. Imagine Gwent on the headset. Imagine they could put Gwent through the VR. That would be great.
I'd never leave the house again.
I would never.
I think I'd really struggle to stop playing that. I think the only thing that I've really encountered with it is you get a wee bit of light bleed around the nose. I don't know, Alex, did you find that?
Occasionally. I still can't seem to find the perfect fit more than twice in a row, to be honest. Sometimes it'll be absolutely spot on, there's no light bleed whatsoever, and the screen's managed to go a full 30 seconds before misting up. Or I've got light bleed and it just doesn't focus right, and I don't know what it is about me that's making it so I can't hit this perfect focal point every time.
Yeah.
But it does take a good while for me to get it right straight away, and I think that's the side effect of it being Generation 1.
Yeah.
Generation 2, they'll sort out the light bleed, because the rubber seals are obviously important to keep the light out. And if you do get light bleed, you can just stick your finger into the headset and flick the seals out and have them... If you pull them out and have them sort of leaning on your face, you will deal with the light bleed effect, but then your screens will mist up faster.
Listeners, we've finally been joined by Aadil, who has turned up massively late.
It's jet lag.
Fortunately for your benefit, listeners, I've edited out the bit where I lost my train of thought completely, and Aadil was silent for about 10 minutes while he waited to make sure that he could speak. But anyway, Aadil, we've been talking about PSVR, obviously, and all of the fun times we've been having. So why don't you tell us your thoughts now that you've joined us?
I like it.
That was worth the wait.
Yeah,
Excellent. Right. Goodbye, Aadil.
I have to say that I haven't done as much playing with it as I wanted to, because I've had a work deadline. But Ben came around and he it was his first VR experience, and it was really great seeing someone experience VR for the first time in sort of a casual environment, like looking at textures and stuff. I will say that I do see the screen door effect on text, like when you're in the PlayStation menu.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's probably on par or better in the sense of it's less noticeable than the DK2 on like Windows environment. But the PS menu is sort of bigger text, so I don't know how that washes out. I played all of the VR worlds, and they're pretty fun, though I don't know how long I'll keep the disc, because they are more, how shall we put it, VR experiences rather than games for the most part. Do you have VR worlds?
I don't, but I've
Nope.
played
I
the
do.
demo, and Alex does.
Yeah, I've done the ocean diving one, which was pretty cool. That was my first experience of falling into the VR trap. You're going down the water column in this, it's like a hot air balloon basket. And I was sat on my seat trying to reach forward to rest my feet against the bars in front of me. And it took me a moment to realise, now you're being silly, mate. Come on, sort it out. But it was late at the time. I'd done a morning shift. I was tired. Blah blah blah. The luge, as I've already mentioned, the luge really knocked me about with motion sickness
Because of the rocking chair.
Yeah, I was just say because of the
rocking chair. Apart from that, I mean, what's the other one? Danger Ball.
Yeah,
That one,
I call it head pong, and head pong is actually probably the most replayable of them all, because it's an actual.
Yeah. And the London
It's good
Heist.
fun, that.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was actually quite unique that it does spin really well, so that you actually have to do some planning, and it's more than just sort of generic. As long as I touch the thing, I'll be fine. Like, I intercept the ball before it goes behind my line.
Yeah. So you can see the possibility of maybe spinning that out into a full release.
Yeah, or like arcade releases, sort of like £2 to £5 mini games that you could buy. I think there's there's a market there for sort of indie / back Xbox arcade style games back when that was a thing that wasn't just indie games.
Yeah. Just something that's short and cheap.
I think Batman's about the limit of length you're going to get out of any VR game, and I think Batman's pushing it. The only reason I stuck with Batman for the full story was because it was Batman and it was an engaging story. But I think you'd get fatigue very quickly in most other games if it went on much longer than maybe 20 minutes, half an hour per
So,
session.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so as long as there's like short levels, you should be fine then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it definitely opens the door for replayable games that are based like sport style matches, like Pong, where you just play that until someone wins, 5 rounds or whatever it is, 5 points, and then you can stop or you can play again.
Yeah, fully.
You've got you get the inherent replay value plus the condensed kind of time frame that you're actually playing it for.
Out of curiosity, does anyone have? I'm sorry, I missed the listing of what games you guys have, which I'm sure you did right off the top. But does anyone have the heading the ball game, the football game?
Headmaster.
Yeah,
No, I do not.
I'm curious because that's quite a bit more. Like that's not just part of a package. It's supposedly a whole game, right? It's like a $15.99 release.
I think that's what put me off. It didn't, just looking at the game itself, I didn't look at it and think, oh, that's $15.99's worth of money. I thought maybe that's a £5, that's £6 I'll spend out on that. And so I've been put off with that, but I've also not tried the demo yet. Once I've tried the demo, I'll see how I feel and revisit that, I think.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me. I was just sort of like, I don't know, this looks like one of the second, not Wii Sports, but Wii Activities or whatever the second release was, that had like archery and a couple other things, and it seemed like one of those random ones which would be meh fun and definitely not on standalone dealy. Yeah,
it's strange. I mean, game-wise, we're still really early doors as well, and I think they need to sort out their price points. But I think there'll be quite a few sales coming up, just flash sales of VR titles.
Well, there's a couple of games that were on sale 10%
on day
off.
one.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah,
which I bought one of.
I think some of them have already been released on like Steam for Oculus or Vive as well. So
yeah, like
I think
Keep Talking.
Some of them have maybe been.
Oh, Keep Talking is so good.
Have you played it on the PSVR?
Yeah, this morning I thought, I'm coming on this podcast, I need to do something other than Batman. So we fired up Keep Talking, and it was so much fun. Realised that apparently we can communicate to each other, which is a surprise for both of us. I mean, my job is to communicate well, but it's good that I can communicate with normal mortals as well. It's good, normal beings rather than the strange creatures I normally speak to.
Now, so I'm only familiar with the Steam version of it. Although I bought the PSVR one because I figured it'd be easier to break out at parties because it's way easier to set up. But do the manual side, is it like, do you have an app, or sorry, like is the TV different from your
yes,
headset?
TV's the manual. So you've got you can zoom out, and you can either flick through each page one at a time, or you can zoom out and just sort of scan through the page headings.
Right.
That's what I found with the manual today, and I didn't have any issues with it. After a couple of plays, you get the sort of feeling. We only did the first maybe 5 bombs.
Right.
So you're only dealing with a couple of modules on the bomb. Right. So by that point, I'd sort of figured out where all the pages were, and it was always start with wires, then buttons, then keypads, because that's the order they go through. And you're not wasting seconds flicking about, and it was easy to use.
So I'm going to recommend that, especially if you end up like having a bunch of people over and playing it in turns, to print out the manual, because it's so much more immersive for everyone when actually flipping pages and like, oh shit, which one was it? Flip, flip, flip versus like X, right button, shoulder, whatever.
Yeah. There is something on the menu about printing it off, or the links on the screen to print it all off as well. So that's all good. I'll do that when there's a group of us playing it.
Yeah,
that'll be something for the in-laws to enjoy.
The one thing that's nicer about the Steam version is they open up mod support, so a bunch of people are making their own bombs. Bomb modules. Cool. Yeah.
It's not going to happen on PSVR.
No.
Unfortunately.
There's so much good stuff happening, so much potential, and the mod support's actually knocking back quite a lot of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Skyrim on PSVR would be exceptional, but I can't buy Skyrim on PlayStation.
Why?
Because you don't
because
get
of mod support.
Oh,
Because Skyrim exists purely
that's
for
it.
people to screw about with.
Yeah.
I've played Skyrim. I've played it through on the 360. I now want to play it on a console because my PC is nowhere near powerful enough to play it.
Mhm.
So I want to play it on a console, but with mods. And the only way I can do that now is on the Xbox.
I thought they'd came to some agreement the other day or the other
Yeah.
week.
It's just a sort of stick and plaster fix of the little bits and bobs they can do. It's a shame. It is a real shame because
I know I
the
fancied the
PS4
mod feature of it because I played it on PC originally, so
Mhm.
and I modded it and all that. But I mean, that was what 5 years ago.
It's a
So-
fun fact.
Mhm.
When you start Skyrim up, it doesn't have a start button that says edit.
Okay.
It's not
Fun fact, indeed.
it's standard. They just edit the fuck out of it with mods. That's how everyone's done. Anyway,
I think my
Enough of-
favorite was the Dragon Ball Z mod where you could actually do like a Kamehameha move.
to be fair, that was quite cool to watch videos of. I did enjoy that.
That's smart.
Anyway, we've gotten into the weeds on this one a bit.
Yeah.
What? A deal comes on and everything goes quite tangent.
Yeah. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Aadil, you mentioned. I was thinking. You mentioned that you found it quite easy to set up as opposed to what your DK2 or the Vive.
Yes,
What was
I mean
that?
there's way fewer pieces. So and they're all labeled like, and it's such a closed environment. Like you're like unplug HDMI from PS4, plug it into box, add new HDMI cable from box back to PS4. Your video is now done. Plug in camera, and only port camera can go in. Cry to yourself when you realize that you just started charging 2 Move controllers and now you have to unplug one of them because you only have 2 USB ports and you need to plug the breaker box out.
Yeah, that is a bit of the right pain.
Well,
You know
it
what?
is, as soon as you like have charged things, it shouldn't be so bad. But like,
You need to remember and make sure to charge them in advance, which, let's face it, everyone forgets to do.
Gotcha.
I mean, I have more than one PS4 like, DualShock controller specifically so that I can rotate them. So that one's on charge and one's being used, and one's on charge, and then when it dies, I switch them. Yeah.
Oh, it's the port though for the Move controllers as well.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
different.
the breaker cable's a micro USB instead of a mini.
And I had to
That's-
go and
that's just-
find.
If they wish that they changed it.
But then they'd actually have to put R&D and change their thing versus pay the same Chinese factory to just hit start again.
How difficult could it be to change that one port? I mean, really?
It's more difficult than just getting money for doing nothing.
It'd be a lot easier if it was just for charging, but because you have to synchronize it through the cable as well,
Yeah.
that's where your problem comes. You have to change all that nonsense going on as well.
And also, you can get cables that have 2 connections on it for charging stuff, like walkie-talkies come with it, where there's like one USB cable that has 2 mini or micro or whatever it's called USBs on the end that you can charge. Why didn't they do that?
I have never seen these cables, but I'm going on Amazon right now. That would make my life so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't they just do that? I would actually have paid them the 10 quid or whatever to buy that cable with PlayStation written on it.
Oh yeah. Well, and the funny
Just-
thing is
just to make it easier.
the DS4 doesn't actually, when you plug it in and because you're out of power and you start using it wired, it still communicates over Bluetooth. So it's not even using that like as a communication channel. It's literally just using 2 of the 4 pins for power.
Yeah.
So like, there's no reason why they couldn't have had like a little breakout cable shipped with the PSVR, so you could charge a Move and a DS4, because all it needs is the power part. It doesn't need anything else.
Yeah. Well, these are all things for us to send in as suggestions for how to improve it for next time. like make all of the charging ports the same, and come up with some better cool cables that have multiple charging points on them and whatnot.
Oh, but I'm sure they're getting a kickback from the third-party charging cradle people.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean the cradles are still cool. People will still buy them just so they don't need to use cables. But that doesn't mean my life needs to be miserable.
I use a cradle. I've got one of my DS4s set up for it, but it's got some sort of weird proprietary charging unit on it. So I've only got my one DS4 working on it. The other one I have to plug in.
Did you buy it, or did you rob the cradle?
No, bad Aadil.
Sorry, I really tried to not say it. But...
I did pick up my first injury as well using VR. I was playing Batman with the Move controllers, and I became quite obsessed with the Batarang target range. And I don't know if you remember the injuries you used to get from playing maybe Wii Tennis or Wii Baseball. And the next morning you'd wake up and your arm would be in absolute agony.
I was thinking more along the lines of someone else has hit you in the face with the remote.
I thought you said like stalling on the way by.
Oh, no. My arm was in absolute agony from just spending probably about half an hour trying to beat my record on the one of the Riddler quests. It was dangerous. And that was also the time that I touched my chair next to me and it scared the living daylights out of me because there's nothing there. I can't see anything. What am I touching? What's jumping out at me? Yeah, it was an interesting experience, and that's when we took the headset off and went back to bed. I think that was the safest route.
It scared the living daylights out of one-armed Batman because you can only charge one control. Yeah, so I think what we're saying is overall thumbs up.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
I think it's the VR system that will push VR forward the most out of all three of them, having played and owned versions of all three of the main players, and just because it's good enough, like they said, unless you're doing room VR stuff, which like 4 application designers are doing, because now everyone's got 2 motion controllers and head tracking, so now every game is going to use that as the default, and it's the simplest, it's the most affordable for now, and it's the easiest to set up, and the one most people are going to see, because unless you know some weirdo like me, or you go to like a Gamescom, you're not going to see a Vive.
Yeah.
My Vive isn't even set up because it's a pain in the ass to set up, and I don't know where to set it up because I keep my PC, my laptop and its Frankenstein system for graphics in my bedroom, but there's not enough space for room VR stuff.
First world problems.
Nerd world problems, my dear. Nerd world problems.
That's good. So the final question really on that is, what games are you looking forward to trying that you haven't had a go of yet?
All of them. Any.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one. Good answer. Alex, what about you?
After hearing so much about Windlands, it has to be Windlands.
Yes, good man. I've done enough gushing over that game.
Yeah, I've heard from you. I've heard from Aadil. I've been hearing on other podcasts. It sounds like, to be honest, it sounds like Spider-Man. And
it is. That's exactly what it is.
Once you get good at it, you'll be swinging about the place brilliantly.
If on this new Spider-Man game they can stick in the VR portion, I'd be all right with that as well. Exactly. It'll be good.
How was Riggs? I'm sure you went over it, but plus, are you enjoying it?
Yes, I'm enjoying Riggs. I had one slight problem with setting it up, where, because everything's done with head tracking, so when you can turn it off, but you can turn the rig itself by looking. So it aims with your head as well as move from left to right. Oh wow! You can turn that off, but you can do it that way, or you can use the right stick to turn, depending on what you prefer. But I had a problem with it wasn't centering properly like if I sat, perfectly straight looking forward like normal, the rig was off to the left slightly,
Right.
which meant that I would start spinning round to the right, which made
Oh, God.
the game quite a bit more difficult to play to begin with. Because I'm like, that's not right. Why is it doing that? I think that's just a weird thing with. I think I'm maybe sitting too far away. If that's maybe an issue for the camera. And setting it up, so I need to play about with it a wee bit more. It worked okay some of the time, and some of the time it went, no, it's just off center for some weird reason. But I think that's more to do with me setting up, and as opposed to the game itself not working. Because it was great fun when I was compensating for that. It was absolutely brilliant fun. There's nothing wrong with it in that regard. It was just that weird kind of sitting funny. But that's the only game I've experienced that with, so I don't know.
So it's not just like you've got squid ears and it's the headset's not sitting on your face properly.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not that.
I have that with glasses. It's a very real thing. Don't laugh.
I tell you what, if glasses were as designed as well as PSVR, they would never fall off. It'd be fine.
Yeah, that's the other thing is it's so once it's set, like once you figure out how you're supposed to put it on, it's dead easy to repeat versus the the other two. You disagree?
Oh, it's the exact opposite of what I said, but I think it's because it's a me thing. I just can't get the right fit more than once in a row. I'll put it on once, get it spot on, and then it's just afterwards not a chance. I have to fiddle around for a good 10 minutes getting it right.
That's what I was saying. It's once you figure it out, like the big thing for me was realizing that you have to pull the main loop down so it's underneath, swoops back into your neck.
Yeah, so it's low down as opposed to like right in the back of your head.
Because if you don't do that enough, then the bottom of the actual headset front part will always bow out, and you get light bleed.
Yeah.
And that's a good indicator that the headband's not on well, is if you have light bleed on the bottom.
Yeah. It's definitely the simplest to use because it's literally two buttons: one to pull the headband itself apart, and one to move the screen forward and back.
And a dial.
And the dial, yes, for tightening it, but who gives a toss about that?
Me? I've got a tiny head.
Yeah, Ben does as well.
Ben does as well.
We'll just leave the listeners to contemplate that one.
Oh. I've not even got it.
Sorry, Ben. But no, it's definitely simple. It's fine tuning, getting it spot on so that everything's in focus properly. It does take a bit of, moving it about and stuff to get that nailed down. But I think once you do it often enough and you're getting it, you'll start doing it no bother, and you'll stop noticing. Like finding that difficult, even you'll definitely notice.
Yeah,
looking VR headset on your head, you definitely notice that. You won't stop noticing it, but you know what I mean.
I also think the way they did cable management was quite good. Although I don't know why they didn't sort of make over-the-ear headphones as part of it.
Money, I think, comes into that one.
But it's clear it wasn't designed with that, and because people such as Ben and Lauren will have this problem of because the loop is so is tightened as much as it is when you have a smaller head, you can't actually wear over-the-ear headphones.
Oh, really?
Because I have over-the-ear headphones, and I have inner earbuds, which I use because they're my listen to everything ones, and they're slightly better than all my other headphones. And then I have the ones that the Sony VR came with. And I unplugged my regular headphones and was going to give Ben my proper gaming headset, and he couldn't put it on to have a proper seal on his head because behind his ears was the hinge part of the loop.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So he just the sort of default crappy Sony earbuds.
To be fair, I haven't actually used it with any of the headphones plugged in. I've just been using the normal.
Oh, you need to do that. The 3D imaging of the stereo effect and all that crap is well worth it.
The Sony headphones aren't the worst I've ever used. I've only used those. I am going to try I've found out my good headset today to try with it. But the Sony ones have been doing me well, all right. Decent 3D, decent, not good, but decent 3D.
Good enough that you go, I can see exactly what they're doing with you. It might be worth investing in a better set.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly the sort of thing you want when you're packaging them in. It needs to be good enough to show off the technology, but not be too good that no one buys actual headphones.
Yeah.
So they seem to have hit the right mark with that then.
Yeah, not like Apple, who have decided that
headphones
only ever use these headphones. Yeah.
And you'll spend hundreds of pounds on stupid ones with no cables that you will lose endlessly.
The other thing that I have read online that you should keep in mind is, although it would seem like your best bet would be wireless headset, like a Bluetooth headset straight to your PlayStation, you won't get the 3D surround mastering. You'll only get stereo mastering.
Yeah.
You have to take it because it's clearly done by the processing box itself. So you have to be plugged into it, which is kind of dumb, but
yeah, maybe. But at least that they've got it working.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a weird quirk because you'd think it's an audio, like of all the things, it's one of the simplest to move around and it's the lowest bandwidth.
Yeah, that's maybe one of those. Whoops, we forgot to add that in. Oh dear. You know what they're like? They always overlook something important.
Sony?
Yeah.
Never.
Always. Like introducing folders. Not letting or not including folders to begin with.
Exactly.
And then not letting you pin them. It's as simple as that. They always forget something.
Getting some deja vu on the pinning situation.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have we resolved the subfolder folder issue yet? Where we
can't subfolder. You cannot subfolder. You can organize the games into an order, but you can't subfolder it. Which is just
I don't want that. I want the subfolder.
I know, it's not cool.
I'm not happy. Sorry.
Damn it, Sony.
I'd settle for no subfolders, but the ability.
Pinning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, pinning is the priority. Subfolders can come after that.
I mean,
in 2025, whenever we get down to
it. New PlayStation 7 now with subfolders.
I wouldn't even put it past them. Oh, we forgot to put in the disk drive for the games again. Oh. We need to sell a extra box with a USB cable. Whoops.
Call it Slim.
Excellent. Right, we shall move on then to highlights of the week. Does anyone actually have any?
Me, I've got lots. Can I talk now?
Yes.
God.
Is that your highlight? Yes, I can talk.
Yay! No.
And Lauren's done her highlight. She's able to talk next.
I have a voice, but anyway. So, PlayStation wise, I've actually played quite a few, but it's been mostly demos this week because I've been really busy with uni. But I managed to have a shot of World of Final Fantasy, Outlast 2, and Virginia.
Those are all demos I've just downloaded today.
Oh well, there you go.
Now you can find out which ones to delete.
Yeah.
Well, Outlast 2, but I'm going to be doing a video with that with Ben kind of later on in the month. But I shot myself. I got so frightened at one point. I jumped, I screamed, and I threw the controller into Joe's face. Like, I didn't even mean it. I was just like, but no, it was good. The idea behind it was really good because you're running through the forest and you're a cameraman. Your only view source of light, bar the odd kind of street light or fire a bit, is your night vision camera. But obviously, you've got limited battery time. So you need to choose how long you want to have the camera on for. You could run in all these wee huts. And I ended up in a kind of school place, and this laughing voice is like, disembodied laughing voice was getting closer and closer and closer, and all these crickety sounds. And I had in a locker, and I knew I should have done it. I knew I shouldn't have opened the door, but I did, and it was fine. And then I stepped out, and this thing just launched into my face, and that was that. So unfortunately, I need to go and replay it to get some images for it. Virginia was complete opposite because it's like an on-speaking game. it's like kind of detective-y, and like it's kind of like how in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture we are wandering around, but better. But obviously, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is visually kind of more outstanding, whereas Virginia is. It's quite difficult to describe. It's still very attractive, but in a kind of weird way. But that kind of took a wee while for me to get used to, because it's got direction while simultaneously being directionless. But I've only spent a couple of minutes on it, like half an hour. Well, let's say half an hour maybe. Because Outlast, I was just like, no, I have to go to bed now and try and go over that. And kind of the same with World of Final Fantasy. I've got no idea about the Final Fantasy lore. I've never played them. It was my partner and I started playing it, but it was good. You can go between the giant and I think they called it Lillican, whatever, the small versions, and you've got these wee people you can stack. And Chocobo was there, and we got a baby Chocobo with a little egg in its head, and we called it Lauren, and they got to run around and go into battle. It was super sweet. And we met. I don't know, it was character Lightning and all that. I don't know. I don't recognise Final Fantasy people. I'm just going to throw that out again. But Joe was just like, yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so. And I was just like, ooh. But it was very pretty, very easy to control.
How are you going? How was it?
No. But it was good. The other game I played, it was PC, it was Endless Legend, which is a kind of turn-based strategy game, much like Civilization, and it's really good. Really enjoying that.
Oh, it's a solid game. Now, do you have the new expansion?
I've got all of them except, is it Tempest?
Yeah.
Or whatever the new one is. I've got all the other ones, though.
So now that you've run massively through all of the things, can we take a few steps back?
No, I'm not finished.
Well, but I said back. I just meant, did you ever play Outlast 1, or is this your first Outlast?
That was my first Outlast. I'm not a big horror game fan. The last horror game I played, and now every time I want to talk about it, I can never remember it. Oh, it's the one. Oh my God. It's the one, and it's that creepy, horrible wee guy, and if you blink, every time you close your eyes, it'll get closer and closer and closer to you.
5 minutes.
Containment! No, Containment. I can't remember, but that one, that's the last horror game I played. That and the one with the baby, with the wee teddy bear leads you through your wardrobe and all, and it's like fucking scary bananas. I don't really.
That sounds more like a nightmare you've had rather than.
I don't know. I think it was. I don't think I dreamt it. It's too elaborate.
I'm not actually sure I know either of these games.
I'm sure I didn't dream this. I'm 90% sure I didn't dream it.
For those of our listeners who don't know about Virginia, do you want to just? So it's first person exploration.
Yeah, really. I don't. There isn't a lot to say about it. It's good. You're searching for clues. The demo doesn't really allude to what the kind of main story is, but from what I've read on it afterwards, you're searching for clues to something, but I haven't figured out what.
You need some more clues then?
I need some more game. I need to buy it. It's sitting there with Technomancer in my cart.
There's always a catch, isn't there?
I know.
Buy it to get more clues.
Exactly. Damn, microtransactions / is actually buying the game.
And
aye.
And then World of Final Fantasy you're enjoying despite not being a Final Fantasy fan?
Well, yes and no. I did play Chrono Trigger way back in the day.
That's not a Final Fantasy.
Would you let me finish? I was going to say I don't have a lot of experience, but I did enjoy it because I was going to say my experience of JRPGs is limited, having played these ones back in the day. Yes. What the fuck? Rude? Much?
Yep. So you haven't actually played a Final Fantasy game is what you're actually saying, right?
I'm not talking to you anymore.
All right. So
Final Fantasy has an interesting history with this podcast because usually if Jimmy was here, he'd be yelling and screaming about how it's the dumbest series because it doesn't know how to number itself.
Yeah, but speaking of that, actually, with the Red Dead stuff, everyone complaining about it being, everyone complaining about them calling it, like Eurogamer saying Red Dead Redemption 2 when it's the third Red Dead game.
But it's the Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, but it's actually they've now officially announced it and they're actually numbering it that. But when we were talking about it before they announced it, Jamie Martin's like, well, it's just like, Final Fantasy X-2, and I'm like, no! I will not go down this path. And
it's not Red Dead 2, it's Red Dead Redemption 2, it's all good.
Okay, it's Rockstar. So what is the last
gonna be
game
good.
that they
That's all
came
it
out
matters.
with?
It was GTA 5 was the last
And
game
which
they came
is
out with.
and which number GTA is that?
Like 9, 12, 19, something like that, including expansions.
They showed
and stuff.
Assassin's
No, not
Creed
even
at the
including
time.
expansions. I mean, even if you forget GTA London, which was a standalone game on the old engine,
So
you've got
GTA
1, 2, 3,
There's
San
Vice City,
Andreas, Vice City. I did those in the wrong order. Apologies.
Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories.
Even if you don't close the stories because they're a separate line,
No, but they're still full GTA games.
right? But there's the stories games.
Yeah,
Like I'm
but
just saying, even if
they're
just look at
prequels to
core
the other ones.
releases, you're still looking at GTA 7 as
But
fun.
they do fall into the timeline because they're prequels to 3 and Vice.
Timeline doesn't mean they're of the same series. Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid.
Who gives a fuck about that?
Oh, I am.
It's dead now.
Yep.
It's dead.
I think
That's
I'm just trying to
different,
point
so-
out that anyone who's trying to point out inconsistencies in game order is an idiot because it's been happening forever and will always be this way.
All right then. That was a mood
That doesn't
killer.
mean I
Shut
can't
up,
mock
shut up
Final
on it.
Fantasy for it.
So-
far and away the worst.
World of Final Fantasy was great. Just gonna loop that background. No,
Excellent.
and also went to Glaze Games and drank a lot of beer and met Guy and Barry of the Two Good Boys and Gavin Spence from Geshcast and Simon the host
Plug
of it,
this podcast.
but mostly myself.
Oh, that's...
I'm not sorry. No, I did.
It's done for your website.
No, I had my own website first. Ross just can't resist my writing skills and my delicate tones on No, but it was really good. Actually, it was very good both for the networking and for the beer. I was drinking one, because it's at the Drygate Brewery. It was crossing the Rubicon. It was only 2/3 of a pint, but it was 6.9%, and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. So
Excellent. Save it for Thanked Up.
I was
nothing,
waiting for you to
nothing
say
else
that.
go for that. Oh yeah, I've definitely got beers like for the next hang up. I've got like 6 different beers, but by the end of it, I'm probably going to be steaming. So just ready yourselves.
I don't think you're supposed to drink all of them.
Listen.
Steaming or tanked up.
Oi, don't tell me how to live my life. I had like 8 beers and 2 whiskies on Saturday. It was networking like a pro.
Anyway, can we move on now?
No, apparently not.
Right, Alex, do you have a highlight of the week? Maybe.
Is that me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman. No questions.
Excellent.
Batman.
Excellent choice.
Just felt
Being
like a
the Batman.
badass.
Always a
Just-
good
just-
choice.
There is nothing more. It's nothing better than feeling like an absolute boss, getting your ass handed to you by a crap aiming system with batarangs. I say aiming system, I mean me being bad at throwing batarangs. No, but it's just
you
an
managed to hurt
exceptional,
your arm doing it. So
exceptional game, all in all, and I'll probably play it again this weekend.
Is it worth the money given that it's
Yes.
short and
Yes. Just look at a cinema ticket, price it up compared to a cinema ticket, and then look at replayability.
but
So
you
at
can't do
nine-
that. You got to compare like with like.
Okay, let's like with like passive versus active. So yeah, it's still worth the money. Honestly, it's worth it. 15 quid. It's 90. It's about an hour's worth of story, 90 minutes worth of gameplay with all the other add-ons you've got towards the end, and then the replayability is right there. Straight away,
there's
you
some-
want to go back in and carry on.
there's some challenges and
It's-
stuff as well, isn't there? The Riddler stuff.
I'll be honest, it's the best demo for PSVR out of all of it. It's by far, it's shown what the headset can do with the full kit really well.
Hmm.
Really, really well. The ending is phenomenal. Just the feeling of it. I'm not going to go into any sort of spoiling, but the ending is, it's the most immersive I've felt. Despite making mess ups by trying to put my feet on things and falling over and swinging off chairs and stuff like that.
Try
It's
to put
the
your
most
hand on the railing
immersed.
in the menu.
Yeah. It's the most immersed I've felt in a game on this headset by far.
Awesome.
It was there's things. Imagine like it was. I'm trying to think how to say it without spoiling it. Okay, imagine you're on a ghost train game and you're scared to turn your character one direction because something else is going to happen while you're turning. You just don't want to do it.
How does a boy band get on the train if it's a ghost train?
It's the same sort of feeling as that. You genuinely.
Yeah, that's how I felt during Outlast. I didn't want to turn around because I knew something was going to come and get me, and I didn't want to face it.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you've got that, but it's your brain is telling you that this is going to happen to you, and that's the sort of feeling you're getting with Batman VR, and I absolutely loved it.
That's amazing.
I completely lost track of time as well. I came to the end of it. I'm like, what, is that it? And then looked up at the clock and thought, oh, yeah, everyone's going to be back soon, causing problems, getting in my way and pushing me over while I've got this headset on and can't hear a thing. Yeah. But it was exceptional. Definitely worth the time and money.
Excellent.
Good. Aadil, do you have a highlight of the week?
It's probably going old school. Bob and Dave from Out of Lives and I, we played GTA Online. I was going to say 5, but it's actually just called GTA. On
6.
Yeah, GTA 9.5. And we had such a good time. It took forever for things to load, and there were problems that they still haven't fixed, like just basic loading time and matchmaking. Okay. But once we were on, we went into the dockyards, and we just started trying to kill each other, old school, and then we invented
Always
games.
Fun.
Yeah,
like
make your own fun.
Yeah, it felt like passing the controller around in like GTA 3 through 4, like by City San Andreas, where you and your mates are over and you're just you're all playing, taking turns causing mayhem. Except we got to play with each other, and to the point where we killed each other so many times that our bounties kept increasing and we didn't think about it. And then like 7 guys came out of nowhere, and when they saw that we were just fucking about, they left. But it was like, oh shit, someone else just killed me. What happened? And there were some really just fantastic moments. Like Bob threw a grenade and blew me up, but I had already had my sights on him. So as I was flipping over, because I was above him on a crate, I shot him in the head.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just just quintessential GTA moments.
Did you save that moment with the share button on your phone on the Xbox, didn't you?
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that so that we wouldn't disillusion our listeners. No, I tried to say, actually, this is a point. I said, Cortana, record that, or Xbox, record that, and it apparently wasn't on. I was on the new scheme, not the old scheme, so nothing happened, and I just gave up.
I don't speak to Cortana anymore. She upsets me.
Oh.
I've got Amazon Alexa. She looks after me though, so it's all good.
How are you enjoying it? Is it good?
I just woke her up. Hang on. I'll wait till she's gone quiet again before I carry on talking.
Because you said her name?
It's exceptional. Yeah. It's exceptional.
It's clear it's screwed with your mind when you thought it would be acceptable to spend £100 on some light bulbs.
Yeah. Totally worth it. Alexa.
It was a conversation to drop into.
Party time.
There we go. Alexa knows what time it is. It's better than I know. So obviously smarter than most of humanity.
Hold on a second.
There's that dig at
Siri, what time is it? Oh, I put it on.
It's 8:29 p.m.
See?
Oh, right, okay.
So what does it do besides my phone? Like, what is so great about it compared to the other things? Is my question.
Let's. Okay, so my wife is upstairs wrapping Christmas presents well in advance.
Yes!
Alexa, turn off the bedroom lights.
That's not worth £100 though.
100% worth it. She'll appreciate that. Now she's in complete darkness, so that was fun.
And if she doesn't have a magic device, she can't turn the lights on? Can't she just clap?
Press the button, but then she has to get up.
Can't she just clap? Like, can't I just buy the clap on, clap off thing and my phone?
She can clap. It's not going to help. So I mean, a fairy might come back to life or something.
So what you're saying is Alexa is Siri with the clap.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right. Oh dear.
Aren't you glad I didn't just not show up?
Thanks for everything.
I'm not so sure. Anyway, not that anyone asked, but my highlight of the week was finding out that Tethered and Windlands are coming out on the 25th, which is next week.
Yay!
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for Tethered, even though I don't have a VR even ordered yet, but it does look super sweet.
I know
You need to try
me and Meta are
Windlands
going
as
to
well.
be talking about that game quite a lot, Tethered, when it comes out. He's really into his god games like Populous and whatever else, whatever the other one was called that he mentioned, I forget. And I really enjoyed it at EGX, so that'll be day one purchase for both of them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll buy Windlands on the PSVR because I have it on PC already.
Well,
But
that's
I
fair.
don't
You-
have a
you are
way
gonna
of
buy
playing it.
You know you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because now I have to buy Batman apparently.
Batman.
Both. It's good. It's good. Just you don't need food. No, it's all good. Get both.
What everyone else is doing.
I already overspent my birthday / personal spending budget of the last month and a bit by buying PSVR right after I bought a PlayStation 4.
The question is, how
fair
many
point.
months worth of spending money did you spend?
Well, luckily, I don't really have a budget. and it really depends on if my house ever sells. Sorry, because then I'll be fine even if I go 3 times over budget.
2 Batmans.
I think they're called Batmins.
Man bats.
Yeah, Mad Bats. Yeah.
Baseball players.
What?
Cricket players. Cricket players. Damn it.
Oh yeah, Batman's. There
Yeah.
we go.
Batters. Anyway, let's get out of the weeds here. And it's time for our quiz.
Oh, I
Yay.
didn't miss the quiz.
I saved it
Oh,
for
yeah.
the end,
Let's
just on that basis. Right, rules for the quiz are simple. I'll read out the question, and then you shout your own name, and whoever shouts first can answer.
I thought you were going to say wins because I'm like, oh, yeah. That's a shout.
No, they can then answer. Get it wrong, the next person can go. We'll go
That's
like that.
fair.
Because if you all shout out the answer, then it just doesn't work.
But wait, we're going to shout our names and then you're going to say who gets
Who
the
can-
answer.
Yeah,
I
who
see.
gets the guess, and then that way, if you get it wrong, someone else can have a go, sort of thing.
Adol's delay is going to help me out here.
This will definitely tell us if there is a delay when Aadil gets 0, even though Lauren doesn't have one. A PSVR. Anyway, question 1 of the PSVR quiz. How many buttons does the Move controller have?
Alex,
Yes, Alex.
7.
Wrong.
No. Wrong.
Adil.
You're
Hey.
out. Nope, wrong. Lauren,
Adil,
you want to have a
hey.
guess?
Does it have 4?
No.
Wait, what? 1,
Hey?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9.
Where's the 9? Oh, 9, the fucking PS button.
You even
Oh,
and you still got it wrong.
I must have start and select.
Okay, I'm going to open my drawer and take a look at this goddamn thing.
Well,
I'm holding
that's
11?
the answer is 9.
The answer is.
Oh, yeah, I was right. Yeah, there's the middle button. I forgot the PS button. I remember the weird squiggly button.
Right, well, that's a big fat 0 for question 1. For
But technically,
Yay.
Lauren hasn't answered yet.
I did. I said 4.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's right.
yeah, she went the opposite way. Whereas if you kept the trend going, you would have won.
Listen,
You'd have got a
I'll
point.
live my life how I want to live it. If it's a numbers game.
All right, question 2. How many PSVR games featured on last week's episode from the PlayStation blog article?
27. Adil, 27.
Alex, 9 1/4.
Lauren,
I didn't actually.
12.
I didn't actually parse your question at all.
Who's
Yeah.
closest?
It's Aadil was right. It's 27.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
I
had
mean, I
the
w-
slight advantage being on that episode.
Of course, Of course, if you guys, you could have intercepted, given that I just said the answer and then like paused for 2 seconds. It was like, "Oh right, my name."
Yeah. They almost swooped in on you, but everyone was too slow. Everyone had a delay that time.
Yeah, definitely. That was it.
All right, so that's 1 point to Aadil and no. Question 3. What hashtag is used to promote the Batman Arkham VR game?
Oh, fuck off.
Alex,
Yes, Alex.
wear the cowl.
Correct.
Oh, get in! I know
kind of
PlayStation
one
things.
each for
Robert.
Aadil and Alex there. Lauren, I thought you maybe would have got that one since it was a Twitter-based question.
I'm not going to lie, it went a wee bit quiet on my end, so all I heard was Batman.
Excuses.
It's happened ever since Aadil's joined in the conversation. I've started getting blackouts. That's why I've just been kind of laughing randomly. I don't want to say anything.
No, what happened there? Lauren heard the word Batman and then just started going, no, Batman.
No, I had to see from
Pretty much
Batman
what I
to
did.
Forever in my head, and I was thinking of
That is a
Jim Carrey's
danger,
Riddler.
Alex. Anytime it's mentioned, that everyone just breaks out into that. Right. Question 4. How many times did I play Tethered and Windlands combined at EGX? Something I've mentioned quite a few times on podcasts.
Dill?
I think Alex was first there.
He finished first, but I started first.
So she said, "Hey."
For a number. All right, Aadil, your turn to go.
5.
Correct.
Oh,
Can you see this list?
I was
No.
going to go, but then go with that and just decided not to say anything again.
I knew you played one more than the other, and I knew you played Windlands at least twice.
Yeah.
So I guessed 5.
Well remembered.
That is why
Slash guessed.
I study logic. Yeah, that's why. To answer this question.
That is 2 points to Aadil, 1 for Alex, and still 0 for Lauren.
Sorry.
That's Alex, if you get this question right, you take it to a tie break, which I do have.
Ooh.
Oh, not much chance of that, though.
Well, you
know
know,
the hashtag.
if you've been paying attention, you would know this.
Oh,
This
fuck.
question doesn't include the Move controllers. How many lights does the PSVR headset have on it?
Aadil.
I'm going for a walk.
Yes, Aadil.
7.
Wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just was guessing.
Lauren,
Yes, Lauren, do you want to take a guess?
9.
Correct.
Alex, nice.
Yeah.
1 point to Lauren.
I like how I was like, I bet it's 9, but I'm gonna say 7
Do you know how I
And
know it
now-
was 9?
because I said say 9.
No, because I could hear Alex count in the back.
Oh,
I can't count in my head.
Excellent. Well, that means we don't need to go to a tie break. That means Aadil has won the quiz.
Yay!
You know what they say about the early bird? It watches the late bird win the quiz.
But the early bird has the worm.
But
These are
Aadil
just
was the
shit
quiz
quizzes.
master. Oh. Right, is that it?
That was
Yeah, it
the
was a 5
quiz.
question quiz.
Yeah. That's nicely
Lauren's
short
disappointed.
quiz.
I love a good quiz.
Oh,
Here's
so
a
you're gonna
quiz for you. Are we all going to pre-order Mass Effect Andromeda? Of course we are.
I haven't finished Mass Effect 1 yet.
Don't pre-order.
Should I finish
Pre-orders are
You've
bad.
had years for that. Years,
Yeah, but do
Aadil.
I have to watch 2 and 3? Play 2 and
Yes!
3?
God, you have to
Well,
romance
why would I
Gareth.
pre-order a game if I have to play like 120 hours beforehand?
Listen, you just
to.
have to.
You don't have to. You can
You
just
do.
play it.
No.
That's
Oh wait, it's not even the same people, is it?
No, that's it is. It's just it's a different universe. No, but genuinely should buy it. And The
No, you
Witcher.
you
if
mean
haven't
galaxy?
already.
It's the same universe, but they've moved to a different galaxy.
Right, fucking whatever. I meant universe in the same of the Mass Effect universe, the Witcher universe, but it's a different bit in it.
Oh, the Witcher takes place in different galaxies?
Oh,
I don't know why I come on this podcast. You just make me sound like I've never even fucking looked at my PlayStation. God.
Anyway,
Honestly.
Mean to everyone.
You're never usually mean to me. You've been pleasant to me up until this point.
that's
Oh
because
yeah,
of
but
the delay.
this is my on-air personality.
Mm.
I'm the brash North American type.
Oh, definitely.
Canadians are nice usually. That's their stereotype, is it not?
Yes, my stereotype used to be a Sanyo.
A sand eel.
A Sanyo, S-A-N-Y-O.
Right.
Sand eel is a
I
way
like-
better answer.
I like sand eel better. I'll tell you one thing from Ed's Games, guys. I was slightly not sober and was asking Joe, and I think it was Gavin Spence, could they wash my jacket so I could go for a pee? But what I said was, can you hold that? I've got to tweet real badly, and ran away. And they were just like, that's commitment to Twitter, but it wasn't. I just really had a flash.
That's a good cover, though, if you don't want them to know that you need to go to the bathroom.
But why else would I leave all my belongings with them, but run away? Apart from
Joe's your boyfriend, partner, whatever. It's not as weird as anything to give him your stuff and go, hold that.
For whatever reason.
Going
I need
somewhere.
to tweet real bad.
It's a good cover. Anyway, we did have a kind of regular quiz feature on this podcast, but with the changeover and people being on, we've not had a chance to really organise one properly, but we'll do more.
I like that.
Yeah, because it's good to have a wee quiz every now and then. So
I
we'll
agree.
definitely do more. I just thought I would do a wee short one for this because we've been talking long enough. I think of that we can all be certain. And with that, I think we'll move on to the plugs and then wrap up.
Okay, sorry.
Alex is the newest guest. Do you want to plug your stuff?
Yes, thank you. I'm on the Out of Heroes podcast over at outoflives.net. We talk about superheroes, TV, film, comics, sometimes games when there's news. Do news
Like
reviews.
Batman VR?
Batman VR might appear on our next episode, maybe, possibly, definitely. There's not much news out there. And you can find me on the Out Lives website, sometimes write about TV stuff when the wheel takes me, and on Twitter at TellyAlex.
Yeah, and you desperately attempt to organise the writing stuff so that it doesn't all go up on the same day.
I mean, it's really easy at the moment, but
Because there's none.
there's nothing happening. Everyone is exhausted still from the summer, which has been mental with news and E3 and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting stuff going back up again now, which is good.
Excellent. Lauren, what do you have to plug?
You can also find me at outlives.net. I usually write opinion pieces about games, and soon we'll be venturing into more video coverage. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be of my actual face or just my voice over images and videos, but we'll see what the future brings with that one. You can also find me at Game Nora at WordPress. Again, games, opinion pieces, and there's a bit of beauty and lifestyle and education in there as well for anyone that's interested. And you can find me on Twitter at L_Aitken. I really tweet quite often, so if you don't like seeing lots of random chat, probably about cats and cheese, then...
And Guruk.
And no, I don't live in Guruk though, it's Paisley, come on. Then don't follow me. And probably Joe as well, because he makes a lot of Bobby jokes, and that's how I ended up introducing myself at Quiz Games somehow. Do you know my boyfriend was the one that tweeted about how many litres of pish can you hold in your foreskin? And that's how people knew me.
Oh, and we're getting cut. And that's over.
Anyway, just cut that one out. But yeah.
Aadil, what do you have to plug? Hopefully it's not Bobby jokes.
No, sadly. You can reach me at tanked_up for the Tanked Up podcast, Craft Beer and Video Games, with the aforementioned Ben. You can find me on all of the networks at the Omniarch, and sometimes usually on this. So keep listening to this. Also, some of these voices you should hear very soon on the Resurrected Out of Lives pod.
Woo!
On the main feed.
Well, do we want to make
For
promises?
those keeping track, that's 3.0. Because we had one episode of 2.0 in the summer. That's it. You can
you want to
plug
make
yourself
promises
in.
on that, or do you want me to cut that?
You want what?
Make promises? Do you want to make promises about Out of Lives being resurrected, or do you want me to cut it?
Oh no, I would like that. That's why I specifically didn't say in the next week or so, like I was going to, because I'm still having some headaches and inability to concentrate. So not done my actual work. This part I wouldn't mind if you cut, but Yeah, don't cut the part where I said it's being resurrected. That'll put some pressure on.
Excellent. Being resurrected probably soon. Well, as always, you can find me at Adam Thomas 1994 on Twitter and PSN and Steam if you have that and whatever else. Obviously, check out.
And if you don't get it, get Steam.
If you have a computer, yes, you should definitely have Steam. Those sales pay for themselves, usually. But yeah, check out outoflives.net. There's lots of stuff goes on there. Plenty of podcasts, including Out of Heroes, Tanked Up, this one. Lots of good content there, so check it all out. Support it. Make sure to like and share stuff on the Facebook page and Twitter. Support the team.
Reviews on iTunes.
Yes, reviews. That's definitely a good one. Tell your friends. Get everyone listening to the podcast, downloading. Help us out, please. And for the love of God, send feedback. Out of the Crossfire Podcast at gmail.com. It's not difficult. Everyone has email these days. Everyone.
Or just tweet us. Better yet.
Yes.
Going to say better yet, tweet Tesco Bank.
Yeah. Probably not wise to do that.
No. Yeah, so tweet one of us or send some feedback on email, and that would be great.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
See, a quick note just before we finish. Has anyone else had the email from GOG.com about your Gwent account basically becoming a double lock? And do we think that's going to be the precursor to the invite for the Gwent beta?
Yeah, the two-stage verification.
Uh-huh.
Now, to be fair, it's not a Gwent account. It's just your good whole games account. But yeah.
Picky.
It's
I
definitely
don't
going
want you to
be
disappoint
my
all of
Gwent
the
account.
listeners.
Oh, I meant this just for us. We don't have to put this on the pod. I literally just remembered. But
Oh, okay. Do you mind if we just say goodbye to everyone and then start chatting?
no.